What's up, guys? Shane from Dad's Little Warriors, season 2 of Dad Talk, and we got Dave here today. And I know Dave through my wife. I'm very fortunate; she has a pretty big following and gets me connected with a lot of good dads. So we'll bring Dave in and let him tell a little bit about his story, man, and being a dad. We're both excited about being on here, man. I'm excited. I don't know, like. Sometimes I'll go through and I'll get to know people or whatever. I know Dave a little bit, but I'm excited just as much as you guys to hear his story. So tell me a little bit about your family. I know you got one girl.
Yeah, well, I'm 42. Mm-hmm. I was married 11 years, 1 week exactly to, it's pretty cool, to my daughter's mom. Yeah, she's 11, and we were married. We lived in Elkton forever, and then things happened. We moved up to PA, and other things happened, and then we end up splitting.
Yeah.
So it's like I still see her a lot, like every other weekend, a handful during the week, and we play Roblox almost every day, almost. Yeah. And being a dad is just awesome, Yeah, I was there for every appointment. I didn't miss any of those appointments.
Yep.
Because I guess my ex was like a high-risk pregnancy for asthma, so almost every one of them was like an ultrasound. So you just got to see it.
Yep.
It's a good time,
Yeah.
And so she's 11, and she lives up there. It's just awesome at school. She's got her mom's brain and my hands.
Yeah.
So that's like the perfect mix,
Yeah, for sure.
Whenever she's like, let's go play basketball with me, I'll be so tired, just beat.
Yeah, man.
And I'm like, I don't say no. I'm like, all right, because I know one day she's going to say, yeah, I'm not playing basketball today. Yeah. I'm like, I'll miss them times.
Yep.
Even that day, I remember one time we were playing basketball. It was last year, it came up with my memories. It was a Sunday. It wasn't my day to have her. She's like, I'm bored. Mommy said I can come over. You want to pick me up? I'm like, all right, pick you up. Playing basketball. She blocked me real good, took a nail right above my eyeball.
No shit.
So, I went like this.
Yeah.
I was hurting.
Yep.
She's like, you okay? I said, I'm actually not. I'm like, you gotta help me get out. It was bad. And her mom wouldn't pick her up because something happened, something blocked in. I don't know what happened. But I got her home, and every day I took a picture of my eyeball, just blood and just all around it.
No shit,
yeah,
man.
I'm like, now I'm always scared when I'm playing. I'm like, I'm not blocking.
Safety glasses,
Yeah, so she's like a real good, she's an outside kid.
Cool, man.
And plays video games, stuff like that. But she loves dogs. It's that's her love. It'd be cool if she become a veterinarian, but that sounds expensive.
Yeah. What else is she into? I know she's young and everything like that.
Really. Watching TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok, dude.
Yeah, but she loves animals. She's got a few. When we had split, we were together. We had 4 dogs. Always 4 dogs. And when I left, I took my newest dog, Jenny, and then I left Peter behind, my little lap dog, because Olivia liked that dog so much.
Yeah.
And then one day the ex was mad because Peter's a typical little dog and is a savage. Will pee anywhere.
Yeah, no doubt.
So she was mad. She's like, "You gotta take this dog back." I said, "Yeah, fine. I'll take him back." And he's been with me ever since. He's still horrible, but I'm used to it. I'll kennel him up sometimes with Jenny, my other dog, and he won't go to the bathroom in his kennel or her kennel.
Nice.
Because she knows better, or he knows better.
Yeah.
So she loves the dogs. And now my girlfriend has a 13-year-old daughter.
Okay.
And when we first got together, Olivia was like, I don't want to even talk to her.
Really?
I have no desire.
Yeah.
I don't want to know her. It's like, I didn't want a stepmom. She's like, no, I don't want a stepsister at all. It's just me and you.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be. I said, I know.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be too, but this happened.
Yeah. Sometimes shit happens, man.
And so I was like, this is what we're going to go with.
Yep.
And then one day, we FaceTime all the time, Caitlin and I, my girlfriend. So she was like, how about we put him on the camera, or put Lily in the camera?
Sure.
And Lily came in and said some kid slang. And Olivia was like, she just say that? I was like, yeah. Yeah, she talks just like you.
Yeah.
And then they were best friends ever since.
Nice.
You know, they'll play Roblox together. They Snapchat talk all the time.
That's
you know?
cool, man.
And yet they will fight like they're real sisters. They call each other stepsisters.
Yeah, that's cool.
Already.
Yep.
And it's just like, it's so cool how like the bond of them two together.
Yeah,
You know?
that's awesome,
I mean,
man.
there's
And-
times where they don't like each other.
Oh, of
you
course. You know, shit, there's a lot of times I don't like myself.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm sure you got brothers and sisters, you know, so.
But that's awesome, man. That's really cool to hear because, like, I think you're probably one of the first dads I've had, you know, on the podcast. Well, actually, I think the second dad that's been kind of split. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that. You know, and that's just tough. I'm sure that takes a toll, you know, on you and
It
them
is.
and everything.
Because I miss some things, you know, it's like, I'm like, man. Like sometimes like Christmas morning, like we share the holidays, whatever.
Sure.
She's older now, so
Yeah.
it's not really into like all that stuff. But
Yep.
like, I miss some of them things, you know? Like,
Yeah.
But, oh well, I mean, like my buddy Mike says, would you rather be there? You'd rather be where you're at now.
Yeah,
I'm like,
man,
rather
for
it
sure.
now.
Yep.
And then she's the same way too, because we're all happy in the end. She's got a good dude, you know. No quotation that.
Yeah.
But whatever, I don't care. He's nice
Hey,
to
man.
Olivia, so it doesn't matter. you know?
Exactly. That's what
know?
really matters. You know?
Yeah. I mean, he's a worker, so I mean, I don't know what he does, but I see I know he works. I don't know.
Yep.
But yeah, Olivia's like, I don't have no problem with him. So I'm like, that's good. As long as everybody's happy, who cares?
Exactly.
That's
You
what
know,
it's all about.
Well, you know, when stuff doesn't work out on one end, adult side and everything, as long as it works out on the kid side.
Yeah.
You know, as long as they're happy and everything's working out the way that it needs to when it comes to that. You know, I was previously married. You know, Sam was previously married, and I was previously married, and everything like that. But we didn't have any kids, and that was something. You know, I knew that I didn't want any kids at that point in time. You know, in my life, things happen. You know, but luckily, you know, it didn't happen. You know, for us. But yeah, man, you know that shit can be really tough.
Yeah, I mean, I had my life planned out at 8 or 9 years old.
That's funny.
I never wanted to have a kid.
Yeah.
Kids. I never wanted to be married. It was my money. I wanted to be an uncle, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it took me for a long time to figure out why. It was because my parents, they were always in that fight or flight survival mode.
Yeah.
You know, they hated each other because both of them were like, their dad was just trying to work, do his hobbies, and be just is still like a single guy or whatever.
Sure.
You know, and then mom was raising us stressed out.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like they're both. I'm like, man, kids really ruin everything. So it's like, I don't want to be like that. You know.
Sure.
And then that's when I remember I was living with my buddy Chris. I drank all the time, like a ton. I come down one day to get more ice in the drink. He's like, man, I can't find anybody on this site. I'm like, what are you talking about? He was like, plenty of fish. So I was like, I'll make one of profiles. I made a drunk profile.
Yeah.
And then that's when the ex messaged me saying, like, I like your dog and tattoos. And a drunk and brainwashed at the time. Like, all right, cool. This is cool. Let's try this out.
Let's get it. Yeah.
And then we were married. You know, I had the logo right there. But that was the day that we met. And I tattooed it over. Now it's a zombie fish.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't have regrets about anything, you know. Like it was great. I mean, whether it was real, I don't know. It had to have been real because I was married.
Yeah.
But I mean,
how long were you guys married?
11
again?
years,
that's
1
right.
week,
Yeah. Yep.
exactly. Yeah, I never would have. You know, I would have died an angry man on that porch.
Yeah.
You know, that's just how it was. Like towards the end, I didn't know what was going on. I was shutting down my own ways, and I was pushing everybody out too. You know, even Olivia.
Yeah.
I was like, I had a plan to end it all.
Yeah.
And it was a great plan too.
Yeah.
But yeah, on that it was November 18th, 2022. That was like this place. Every day since we moved up to PA, it's like a hill, and it's like the best stars you ever see.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I always notice on Thursdays they're closed, and then a park ranger will just take the signs down. I'm like, that's gonna be my spot. I'll pull in there, put my seat back, get the shotgun action going on, and let a park ranger find me. I'm like, Olivia already got a new stepdad, so
Yeah.
what's the matter if I'm here or not?
That's true.
You know? And I didn't talk to nobody.
Yeah.
You know, that's how men are. You don't talk.
Yep. Nah, and that's what
And
it's
now,
all
like,
about.
I get
Yep.
a chance. I'm telling my story all the time. I don't care.
Yeah, man.
I don't care if I offend somebody about doing it, you know?
Yeah.
And then that morning, I woke up, and my dog was, like, all over. I was, like, bawling. My dog was all over me, like, dude, don't do it. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. He knows.
Yep.
But the fact that she did that, I'm like, man, I can't leave her. She was a crazy hood rat of a dog. I'm like, the ex would probably just put her in a pound. She's wild, and I wouldn't blame her.
Right.
You know, I wouldn't want to take care of that dog. And then I was like, I didn't do it that day. Obviously, I'm still here.
Yeah.
But I pass that spot every day. Still
No
on
shit.
Fridays, if the signs are still out, I usually take a quick snapshot.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'll post it up.
I mean, that speaks a lot, dude, because I know a lot of people go through that shit that don't fucking say a word about it. You know what I mean? Like, I've had some pretty dark fucking days going through some of the stuff that we've had, and it's like, you know, it's a lot more to fucking talk about it. You know, there's some stuff that I've told some certain people and everything like that people probably wouldn't believe, but it's like, man, sometimes you're in that mindset. You know what I mean? And it's hard to get yourself out of that. You know, something like that, something as simple as your dog waking up all over you and happy. Like, sometimes that's all it takes. You know what I mean? And, you know, fucking thank God he did, because you're still here. You know, like, it's this shit's tough, man. You know,
yeah, I think it took me like 2 months to actually say something.
Yeah.
And then I remember the ex was like, why don't you go talk to your buddy Mike about what's going on? And I'm like, I didn't even tell him about me ending it all. Then finally I let him know everything. You know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, and my buddy Mike, he's one of those people that tell it straight how it is. Don't tell you what you want to hear, what you need to hear.
Yep.
And it was like, man, you know, and then like, he's one of those good dudes, you know. I'm like, I'm definitely grateful to have him on my side.
Yeah.
Because, like, for the longest time, like, when I was doing my healing journey, still am, obviously, but I mean, but nothing like I used to be. Like, any little bad wave it hit me, and like, I text him, he lets me know what's going on, you know.
Yep.
I mean, he has his own issues too, but like, everybody has the same, you know, issues, really.
For sure, man. Yep.
But as men, we're taught not to just keep going.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Suck
fine.
It up,
I'm
tough
fine.
It out. Yeah.
Keep going. And that's what I did. And I was like at that breaking point.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yep. I think a lot of people are, you know, maybe not at the exact point, but fucking close. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they just, and it builds up and it builds up and it builds up. Like, dude, there's no shame in my game. You know, obviously, like, I really don't care, you know, what anybody thinks about me or what I do or, you know, anything like that. You know, it's more a man to fucking talk about it, in my opinion, than be like, just let it kind of build up and then, you know, shit, you know, goes where it goes. But that's, you know, it's crazy to hear, but I'm glad that you're fucking still here, man.
Yeah, thank you, me too. Yeah, I had one buddy that knew something was going on, my buddy Brad.
Yeah.
I was working with him, like, he was like, something's weird about you.
Yeah.
He's like, you're not the same Dave I used to know. I'm like, whatever, it is what it is, who cares?
Right.
Life goes on. And he's like, I know what you need. He gave me that big old bear hug.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man. He would have held on to me a couple more seconds. I'd been balling in the shoulder.
Right.
Because he's been there too. Like, he actually, I think, jumped in front of a train or a car or something.
Yeah.
I forget. He actually did it.
Yeah.
And failed. And like,
It's like, fuck it, man.
Yeah.
Throw it in like it ain't supposed to fucking be.
Yeah, and he was just like, it was a crazy, like, he knew, but I'm like, he didn't know how bad I was. I mean, I was an expert at hiding it. I don't think it's something really to brag about.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But, you know, I'm like, I'm here, and now I'm like, share it as much as I can about it.
Yeah, that's awesome,
Wherever
man.
I can, because I'm like, I don't care. I mean, it's tough out there.
It
It's
is,
tough
dude.
being a dad,
It is,
raising
man.
kids in this world right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have cell phones when we were growing up, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely fucking tough, man. You know, and that's when we started our journey with, you know, just trying to get Lulu and doing IVF and all that shit. You know, me and Sam talked about it, and I talked about it on a couple other podcasts. Like, I felt bad bringing another kid into this world. Like, you know, meaningfully bringing another kid into this world. And we tried to go down the adoption stuff, and it was just a big freaking clusterfuck.
Yeah, that's
you know
hard
what I
to
mean.
do. Even fostering too.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, it's like, we're just trying to give a kid a better life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? In this world,
Yeah.
like, we've got our shit together. We're good. We're older. You know, at that time, we were probably like 35, you know, ish. And, yeah, man, you know, they just made it so tough. And it's like, man, there's too many more problems in this world to be dealing with than trying to give a kid a better life, you know? But I'm sure that had like a big thing to do with it, you know, after the fact, and, you know, with the girl and girls now, you know, with your girlfriend and all that stuff. You know, I'm sure they kind of hold you over a little better these days.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, we're together every weekend. It's so cool. You know,
Yeah.
like they're like, "What's the plan this week?" I'm like, "I don't know. You guys tell me what
Yeah,
we're
right.
doing. Tell me what we're doing." You know, we're
I
taking.
can sit on this fucking couch.
Yeah,
you
I'm
know?
like, I just want to hang out right now. I'm
Yeah.
tired. You know, like we're taking our first vacation in July. We're going to her parents' house, and they got a spot in Florida. So
Yeah.
it's funny. I always call it my quarter of the vacation
Yeah.
for Olivia, because it's like it's set up like it was a big old thing, because we did everything out of court. Mm-hmm. And then I felt like I just had her so much. Like,
Yeah.
like, when are you going to be a parent? You know, like
Right,
flipping
right.
out. You know, but whatever. It's all figured out now. She's like, you have her 1 week during the summer. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, what can we do? We're going on vacation.
Yep.
So we went to Florida the first year. Went to South Carolina last year to see our friend from daycare. So
Nice.
now we're going to go to Florida again this year, but the West Coast.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and then it's gonna be a family of 4 now, our combined.
Yeah,
family.
man.
So I'm like, that's pretty cool. You know, I'm like, this is cool.
Yep. That'd be awesome. How long have you and your girlfriend? been
Almost
together?
a year in May. May
Okay.
1st when I started talking to her.
Everything
It's
going good?
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny. I almost ended it right off the bat, because it was like, it was Facebook dating, and I seen it was like a Bel Air. I'm like, man, when I lived in Elkton, I was 40 minutes. I'm like, man, that's too far, man.
Yeah.
That's just way far. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I almost messed with her. I'm like, you know, I just see where you're at. I don't know, it's just a little too far.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste your time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And then I'm like, you know what? Hold on. Let's go on the maps and check out where Bel Air is, where I'm at. And it's a straight shot down Route 1.
Okay.
50 miles to her house. You get there in an hour. I'm like, this is sweet. And then you go over Conowingo Dam. You see the bald eagles.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
like, you can't get any better ride than that, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I'm glad I didn't mess it up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And I'm like, I wouldn't even know and I messed it up then. But and then I'd probably still be single then, because I was like, whatever. But yeah, it's awesome. You know, we talk every night, FaceTime every night.
Yeah.
You know, good morning text, all that good stuff. I'm like, man, it's nice having that again.
Yeah. No doubt, man.
Well, again, I think I had it in the beginning of like a couple of years maybe or something, but then
Hey, the
turned
when the
into-
honeymoon
we
stage
turned
where
into
it
that
all- yeah.
survival mode back
Yeah,
then
man.
too. You know,
Yep.
we had a giant log cabin in Elkton. It was just, and I kept getting laid off in the beginning. It was just like survival mode.
Yeah.
Like the year my daughter was born, it was like that polar vortex coming in,
Yeah.
heat up a log cabin,
Oh
propane
my
heat.
God.
I was
Ugh.
broke, high gas prices, and just
Yeah.
like couldn't pay to get the place filled up, man. I'm like just failing as a dad. I'm
Yeah,
like,
man.
I need some help, you
Right.
know? And then I was just like, she's like, well, you're the one not working. You should get a job.
Right.
You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's like, you can't get a job right now.
Yep. Yeah, man. It's
But
definitely.
I always made it work, you know. As a dad, you always make it happen.
You do, man.
No matter what.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the stage we're kind of in now with Lucy and all that stuff. It's like we're trying to figure everything out, and luckily our off days are hopefully not the same. You know what I mean? When Sam's kind of feeling away, and I'm like, all right, babe, just get your shit together. Come on, like, what can I do? Let's pick it up.
Yeah.
And then my days that I'm off, hopefully she's the opposite to where she's like, it's cool. We'll
Yeah, 'cause
figure it
you're a
out. We're
team.
getting there. Yeah.
See, that's the thing with the last one. I'm like, it was a lot because I didn't communicate. Cause
Yeah.
even when I was sick, like, you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And like my daughter learned, I got this birthmark I got in the womb when I'm sick. It's a hickey, and I did it in the womb. That's what the doctor said. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not born, and it's when I'm freezing cold or sick, it goes purple. Olivia's always said, let me see a birthmark, so they'd sneak in, let me see a birthmark. You all right? So I couldn't tell
That's
you I
funny,
was sick,
man.
I was allowed
Yeah.
to be sick.
Yeah.
Even when I went to go to sleep early, it wasn't allowed. You know, like you got a kid to take care of. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. So man, I tell you, I'm big into fucking tattoos. You gotta kind of fill me in. What's the deal?
Well,
where to start?
It started with a tattoo up here. It's just a quote from a kid I went to school with. And after that tattoo, I was like, I'll never get a tattoo again. I was like, hey, it hurt, man.
Like
I can't stand that stupid tattoo.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. And then one kid I went to school with, he was like, I don't know what you call it. The guy at the front desk, the receptionist. That's what he is.
Yeah.
It's like, but he's a dude, so he had to be, oh. Yeah. But so we went up there as an Elkton, and then I seen the guy I went to school with, Zach, rolling up in his wheelchair. I'm like, what are you doing in that thing?
Yeah.
He was like a motorcycle accident. Whatever.
Oh,
I'm like,
shit.
He was like, I'm like, you do tattoos? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, jeez. I'm like, man, I'm not ready to open up this hobby.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was making good money then. I was on a good rate job. So like every Friday I was getting tattoos all over.
Yeah.
You know, he did the Basset Hound. But when she passed, like I got on the side of my head, her ashes all on the side of my head.
Yeah.
Where there was like a nose print and her paw print. I'm growing my hair in because I can at least grow it again. So I always had. Well, it's just a dumb thing with me now. But we'll get back on the tattoos in a second. But the new guy, the ex's guy, the fiance or whatever you want to call him, but he had a bald head and a big beard, and I always had a bald head and a big beard. So I was like, I got to grow. And I've always had hair, so I've always had my head shaved since teenager.
Yeah.
And I always had like some type of mohawk. So I'm like, I got to grow my hair back again. I don't care. I'm doing it. Get rid of the beard. You know? So it's just a thing. And now I'm so used to it. I want to shave it again because I miss my shaved head, but I just don't want to do it. I'm like, let me grow my hair again because I know I'm going to lose it in a couple years.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like I got this right here. It says Olivia.
Nice.
My daughter's name because I always had the mohawk stripe right here. And then I did that, you know, and then the side of the head is the page, like American flag with We the People. And the back is my last name. And this was like filler. It's like big old giant eagle.
Yeah.
Because I always wanted that. And of course, Jenny, my lifesaver, as I call her, on my neck. And that's when I had that big beard still. So I shaved it down into like a Civil War mustache, like Civil War goatee. Yeah. And then had it braided. And then they did the tattoo. And then that's when I was like, yeah, I'm getting rid of it then. I just chopped.
You're telling me in the house. It's like I took a knife and
I grabbed my buddy Brad's knife and just went. I'm like, it's gone. You know. I'm like, and then it's funny. There was no trash can. It was like 7-inch braids. I'm like, I feel like I need to save this. There's no trash. I'm like, I can't throw this away. I still have it in my bathroom.
No shit.
One day I'm gonna give them to my parents, one each. You know? I'm like, here, you have one in my beard, you know? So it's like, just recently I had like somewhat of a goatee. I'm like, that's gotta go too. I don't like it anymore. Yeah. But it's just crazy, you know, like with the tattoos. I never thought I'd get tattoos.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm like, I was until like 26, 27, like I got my first one.
No shit. Yeah.
And now I'm covered, you know, got my palm done, you know. It's just like, whatever.
That's cool.
I hate getting them.
Really?
I can't stand it.
Wouldn't be able to fucking tell.
I know. It's like when I got my what was he doing? I think I forget what he was tattooing. He was like, "You want to do the back of your head?" I'm like,
"Fuck your hair."
I'm like, I wasn't even ready for that. And I'm like, usually I shave my head. I don't have another man shave my head.
Yeah, right.
And it was still growing in. He shaved it a little bit. And I'm like, and that hurt. Yeah. Back here, because being shaved to get a dollar store razor blade.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
And it's like, come on, dude. I got the good stuff when I shave my head.
Right. But, used to the arms where it's like, fucking whatever, you know? Yeah,
so it's like, that's just got my arms and my head done, my neck, obviously. But the sides got Hazel's ashes. Yeah. And like, I had to take her out of that box and get the little bit of dust. Yeah. And I thought it was powder. It was like still crunched up, like.
Oh, no shit. Yeah.
So I had to, somehow, I was on a job site. I see one of the mortar and pestle things. Yeah. And I put Hazel's ash in. I'm like grinding it. Like something like medieval times, like I'm making a potion. Yeah. And then I put it in a bag for him and brought it in.
They might see you doing that shit?
No, I did it at the house. Yeah. And then the funny thing is, we had a little bit left, and Olivia and I went out in the yard, and we went to put it out. She was like dumping it out. It's like, bye, Hazel. And it's blowing all over her feet.
Shit.
I got on the video, she's like, ew, and then kicking it. I was like, oh my gosh, that's great. You know?
Oh, man, that's fucking funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I started when I was like, it was right before I turned 16, because I had to get, I guess back then 16 was when you could get one, and my parents had to sign for it because it was like a week before I turned 16, you know, and I've been all about it ever since. Obviously, I'm not as tatted up as you are, but.
Well, I just got, they call it the exposed tat, like the people that like to talk about it. And like me, I'm like, somebody always asks me about my bass. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Is that your dog on your arm? No, it's just a cute puppy I seen on the wall. Of course, it's my dog. I'm like, who do you
How
think
much
it
is that dog in the
I know.
window?
It's like, come on. Yeah. It's like, yeah. If my mom was the one. I take pictures of my dogs taking dumps all the time.
Nice.
And it's just hilarious. Like when I was married, when we had the house and all that, I always let 3 dogs out at a time.
Yeah.
Sometimes when they all go out at the same time,
All shit.
and they all poop, and then they'll take a dump out in a triangle. I always call it the Bermuda Triangle. So I hurry up, I'll take a picture of the Bermuda Triangle. I'm like, yes, I got one. And ever since I left, I haven't been able to capture it.
Yeah.
And like whenever my daughter brings her one dog, Rachel, over, I'm like, come on, this is the day. Come on, please. And then it was close, and then Jenny went to go pee.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's fake. I can't take a picture and hide that.
Stay outside.
Yeah, I'm like, man. I'm like, Jenny ruined it. I knew you had to take a dump. But yeah, it's like, and this one would have been Hazel taking a dump.
Yeah.
My mom took a picture, and it just wasn't good enough for a tattoo. I'm like, that'd have been cool. But I got the dog taking a dump here, the balloon animal there. Mm-hmm. So my buddy Mike's daughter seen it at some tattoo show. She's like, Dave's gotta get that tattoo. I said, yep, I do. I went to this one lady that did the throat. She was an apprentice or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you want to do a quick tattoo? She's like, yeah, I'll do that. I'm like, that's funny. And that's like the only color tattoo I have.
Yeah.
Well, besides the American flag.
Right. It's funny, man, you talk about dogs taking a shit. So, like, when I proposed to my ex-wife, we were down some boat ramp or whatever. I kind of set something just kind of bullshit up. Well, it didn't set anything up, just drove us there, you know. And I had a chocolate lab at the time. I used to train for hunting and stuff like that. We do goose hunting, duck hunting, shit. And I took him down. I acted like I wanted to go take him down swimming and everything like that. And I proposed to her, and sure enough, he came up from the water, dude. And as I was doing it, he took the big old shit. And I'm like, I should have known it was a shitty idea from the start. Yeah. It should have been,
awesome.
Here's your sign. You
Yeah,
know?
I know.
I just thought it was funny at that time. Now I look back, I'm like, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
like,
there's red flag right there. He's giving it to you. Stop it.
Before the red flag shit started, he was shitting, during it. Yeah, it was funny. I was like, as soon as you start talking about that, I'm like, dude, that's it.
Yeah,
right
and
there.
of all people to get me into it, my mom taking that first picture of my bass hound. I'm like, that's great. I'm like, I do it all the time. Olivia gets so mad at me. Why are you doing that? I'm like, 'cause it's funny.
Oh,
you know?
man, that's crazy.
Yeah, the good old days, you know. I do miss it when she was younger.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like it now, you know. It's just like every day, you know, it's always fun, you know. But like sometimes I go pick her up.
Yeah.
Like she won't want to say a word to me. I'll say something to her. I'm like, what's up, dude? She's like, I'm like, all right. I won't say a word. Let me know when you're ready to talk.
Yeah.
You know?
Like 17 and 11,
I know. It's like they're getting to that age. I'm like, just gotta look at the way she's walking, how she's acting with the dog, and I'm like, all right, I think today's a good day. Don't talk to her right
Give
away.
a shot.
I'm like, she forgets that like I haven't seen her for like 1 or 2 days. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, man, dude, I guess what I look forward to on the weekdays.
Yep, for sure, man.
Yeah, now like we're done. This is our last. I go slot car racing on Thursdays, and now it's
you're
done
into
racing.
that? Yeah.
So during the summer, spring and summer, I'll take her for a couple more days because Thursday she always goes to her grandparents next door. So I don't want to take time from them.
Sure.
But she was like, you know what, I'll come 2 days a week with you. I'm like, great, you know. Well, 2 Thursdays a month, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll even go down there and hang out with them too. I don't care.
Right.
You know, they're
That's
still
good, man.
people.
That's good that you can kind of
Yeah.
keep that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the other day I had to go help them carry salt down to the tank down there in their water softener. So I was like, it's good catching up with them because I spent a long time with them, you know.
Yeah.
To me, they're still family. You know? They didn't do no wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Just because stuff doesn't work out. You know what I mean? It just.
It's not their fault that life went up that way, you know.
Yeah.
It's funny. Every now and then they're like, yeah, you're still our son-in-law to me. Yeah. Her dad's like,
Fuck that new guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, oh well, you know. They're like, he's like, we gotta go to the racetrack. We go to Cecil. We didn't gone in a while.
Yeah.
He's like, I'd like to go there one more time. I'm like, yeah, we can go. I don't care. I haven't been in forever either.
Yep.
I was raised there anyway with my dad.
Yeah. So how was your relationship like with your parents and stuff? Your dad and everything
Great
like that?
for a while. Like mom's always been great, you know, like. Cause she's the one pretty much raised us, really. Because dad doing dad's things, you know, and working and doing his softball, you know. And like he was always there to take care of the cars and everything. Whenever we needed something, you know.
Yep.
But when we were young, like he was still in that fight or flight mode. Cause when we first moved into that house in the townhouse, like he was painting something. And he ran off the roof because bees were chasing him.
No shit.
He shattered his whole leg. He's an auto mechanic. And still is, like at 70 years old, just gets it. He's just like, he collects Social Security, so he works for fun, you know?
Yeah. Fucking Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, dude, he gets it. He said he's getting ready to turn 70 in June, so he was straight in for that fight or flight mode for like most of his life. Like he was like, I'm 70. He's like, I finally got something to show for something.
Yeah.
You know, like, but like with my mom, she's always been there. She always did the chaperone, took us everywhere, like. When they split, like I'm old school. Once you're married, you're married.
Yeah.
And like in here, I've been divorced, so it's like I can't be that way. It's weird.
I know.
Well, my way was different. I ain't gonna get into that because people will be like, blah blah blah. You're ruining my life by saying that about me. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares? We're all happy.
Yep.
You know, but yeah, when they split, I was ate up because I'm like, why would you leave now?
Yeah, how old were you?
And I was old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've split for like, they divorced like 7-8 years now. And dad went with his high school sweetheart.
No shit.
My bonus mom. She's awesome.
Yeah.
You know? And like, because she lived a place down lower Delaware. And like, dad's like happy now. Like, I stopped talking to my dad. I said, I'm done with you, dude. Yeah. He was like, I remember one day he was like, I wish I never met your mother. She ruined everything about me. That's pretty much, that's what I heard. Yeah. You know, or I interpreted. I don't know. I stopped talking for 2-3 years. Yeah. Maybe a little longer. And he would still call me every Friday. Yeah. Leave that blocked voicemail. No shit. You know, he never gave up. Yep. And then one morning I woke up with no hate towards him. No shit. It's the weirdest thing ever. Yeah, it's crazy. I unblocked his phone. Yeah. And I answered this call or called him back. I forget. And like you could just hear him just choking up. Like it's like I thought I'd never hear from you again. Yeah. And they're like we're best buddies ever since. That's awesome, it's like, man. It's great. You know, mom's happy now. You know, she's back up. She went down to Myrtle Beach to heal. Now she's up this way. You know. Yeah. And everybody's like, happy. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
And that's it. I mean, kudos to your dad for, not giving up too. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like, I mean, I didn't know I had him, and I wrote him off.
Yeah, man.
He came to the house. I sent the ex out. I'm like, take care. I'm not talking to him, you know? Yep. I mean, I have dreams of him punching his jaw off. I mean, I don't dream.
Yeah, man.
Like, it's just weird. And like, now we're like, so close, you know.
That's awesome.
Talk all the time.
Yeah.
Like it'll be like 3 days. He's like, hey man, we haven't talked in a little bit, you know? Yeah. You all right? I was like, yeah. And then one day I was working a Saturday, I forgot to text him back. He messaged Caitlin. He's like, Dave, all right? He's like, I called him or something. He's like, I'm just trying to see if he's cool. Yeah. She's like, you better call your dad. I'm like, oh crap. Like, I said, but it's only been like
Busted.
6 hours.
Yeah, right.
You know? And here he thinks I'm like, oh, that was weird. It was so funny.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, man, Dad, that's really cool. I'm working right now.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah.
Your mom's still kind of doing her thing, not
Yeah,
with anybody or anything?
Yeah, she will stay single to the day she
Yeah.
dies because Dad's got to pay her alimony till the day she dies or gets married. you know,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
So Mom, I ain't getting married. And she won't. She's much happier. You know, I just got done hanging out with her. I'm like, it's so cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
I mean,
That's really cool.
we have fun and laugh. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this is awesome. Like, I
Yep.
look forward to my Tuesdays or Thursdays whenever I do go over there.
Yep.
Because, I mean, who knows how much longer I got with them. You know, I'm like grateful that I got parents, you know, with them.
For sure, man.
Because,
Yep.
I mean, his dad, all of my mom's parents, they died when I was young.
Yeah.
And she was young. I mean, so did my dad's mom lived to like 92, which was really awesome if they all lived that long. But
Yeah, for sure.
they've been rough lives, you know. My dad had billion surgeries, you know.
Yeah.
He's got like this 6, 7 vertebrae fused in the top of his neck and
Jesus.
still works.
Ugh.
It's funny, you know how I say I got no regrets. The only regret I have really was the day I've been dropping motors in cars all my life with
Yeah.
my dad. When my Buick that I got from my mom, we're putting it at his shop. This thing's beat up. The engine hoist was beat up, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I gotta shave this burr down. It's gonna get hung up. Something's
Yeah.
gonna happen. And he's like, it'll be fine. Let's get it. And like, you see Dad getting a little frustrated. He's in a wiggle spot. He's like, jack it up. All right. He's like, all right, go down. That thing got hung
Bam.
up. That thing dropped on his hand. I still see the blood squirting out of his
Oh,
hand.
no
I'm like,
shit.
oh my goodness, I just killed my dad. You know, it's like the blood just squirts. And he pulls it out. He's on the ground. He's like, oh man, it's broken. I'm like, oh my goodness. I felt so bad.
Fuck that flashlight. You know,
yeah.
there's always Dad's like,
I
"Hey,
know.
put the
Dad's
flashlight
like,
up."
you
I'm
dropped
like,
the motor on my hand. You're a grown man now. You're not supposed to be doing that. Just do that 8 years old. And like, I was like, ah, man. And that's the hand he ripped off. You know?
Yeah.
And then one time, and he was playing hardball. My dad always into sports.
Yeah.
He was running, he was stealing second, ran into third, had his hands out, ripped his pinky off.
No
He
shit.
just ripped his pinky off. And my mom calls me saying, hey, I gotta take your dad to the hospital, ripped his pinky off, slide into a basement. Why is his hands open?
Yeah.
Says they have them closed. What's wrong with him? Now you're asking me if he's all right. I'm like, whatever, dude.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It was just so cool. Like, you know, see them post like if you could get a new dad, would you, or something like that. I said,
Yeah.
no, my dad was awesome.
That's fucking
You know,
awesome,
same with
man.
my mom's is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I don't. You know, they did what they did. They're growing up as we were growing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't
for
know
sure.
any better. They're struggling. You know.
Yep.
We never starved. We
Yep.
never went out with
Same.
anything. And,
Yeah.
You know, we weren't the richest. We weren't the poorest. They just did what they had to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was awesome. You know.
It's funny, man, because like both of us kind of being, you know, the girl dads and stuff like that, man. I think it's just a little bit different than being, you know, being a boy dad.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if I was having a kid, it was always I'd rather have just a girl.
Yeah.
I don't know why I don't want a boy. You know, it's like get a girl. They're much fun, I think. 'Cause
Yeah.
My brother always had the girls. You know, it was just cool. And like, and plus she's a good mixture of both. Like my ex, she was an outside kid all the
Yeah.
time. Played football, everybody. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like not one of them prissy girls that
Yep.
want to sit home and do a bunch of cake on makeup and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's where we're at. You know, I mean, you've seen, you know, Lulu and Lucy and stuff like that, man. They're, you know, Lulu, she's fucking rough, man. She don't give a shit about nothing.
Running
And I'm
around
like,
barefoot
"Yeah,
on the
dude,
asphalt. I'm like, man, that hurt my
eating
feet.
it.
Yeah,
just like running down the driveway,
falling.
bam.
Like, oh man, I just fell.
Like, ah,
The
all right,
more
yeah,
embarrassed
okay.
of falling in front of somebody
Yeah.
than actually hurt, you know?
Yep. Yeah, man. Yeah, we just building some tough ass girls, man. You know, the whole thing with Lucy, like we don't know where that's gonna go, but like, and she's got her own personality too. You know, like already
Yeah.
she's only 9 months, but like, just trying to figure that out. But you know, I'm all about it. Like I really did. I was hoping when we did IVF with Lulu, obviously, you know, kind of just as a guy growing up, riding dirt bikes, working on trucks, doing all that stuff, and I'm like, I need a boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it'd be cool if you were able to pick a boy and a girl. That's the perfect, you know.
Yep. And sure enough, both ones that, you know, were able to be put in were both girls. And I'm like, fuck, we got girls, you know. And then, you know, we had Lulu and all that stuff. And then Lucy came, you know, out of nowhere, natural, and she's a girl. I'm like I'm just meant to be a girl dad, dude.
I know.
Like,
yeah, my brother, he's got 4 kids, you know, and it's like, his first one was a girl. The second was a twins. They were girls.
Oh, Jesus.
And then he was like, come on. And like, she found out she was pregnant.
Nice.
And then it was the boy. He's like, yeah, I got the boy.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, we're done, you know. And they just went through like a kind of an adoption thing. False. I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
Like my mom knew somebody, their parents, something happened to their parents. So.
Yeah.
And they got this little kid, Cy. He's 4. He's the coolest little dude ever,
That's
man.
awesome. Yeah.
And I'm like, and my mom watches him a lot of times on Tuesdays, and he's just so cool. And like, we'll go over to Mom's house, and like he want to blow bubbles, and I'll go in the elevator with Mom. I'll blow the bubbles, and Cy's like, we can't do that in here. I'm like, why not? You can do whatever you want, just can't get caught, dude.
Right. Yeah.
And then he was like, let me try. I said, you can try with the wand, but if you spill the bubbles, then that's when you get in trouble.
That's a different story.
Yeah, because then you get slipping hazards. You don't want old people in here slipping all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the reason why you can't. I can't. And then as soon as you take him outside, he drops the bubbles.
Oh, no doubt.
And that's what happens, you know?
Yep.
I'm like, he's just so cool. And my brother, he gets so stressed out sometimes. Like, he's got all them kids, and he was like, he's a handful.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and like, it's funny, man, because like, and I'll straight up say, you know, Lulu, like, she can be an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, and like, some people take offense to that. Like, if you know, it's like me calling your kid an asshole. I get it. Like, nobody wants their kid called an asshole. Like me, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I know. Like, she's rough, dude. Like, you know, we discipline and you know all that stuff, but like sometimes, like, she's just a rough kid. You know, and like, it just, what are you going to do? You know, and like, I don't get offended if somebody like, you know, says like, oh man, she's being bad, you know, right now. It's like, yeah, she is. I'm going to correct it. I'm going to try. But like, she's just being a kid, man. You know, like, it is what it is.
It ain't like it was back in the day, man. I'm like, they're wild. Like I said, like with Olivia, man, when they get mad, it's like, man, like I was looking forward to our time.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't get that time with you all the time.
Yep.
You know, and then here I get you in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Something happened at school, something happened at the house.
Yep.
Something silly.
You feel bad about that. You know what I mean? Like, it makes you feel shitty that you can't fix it.
I'm like, man, it's like, it's funny, like Olivia, she was like, she had a little boyfriend, like they broke up, you know.
Man.
But they're still buddies and all that. You can tell she missed them, you know. And it's like, and this kid's a good kid. They play clarinet together and all that. It's like a first little heartbreak or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just like, oh, man. But yeah, it's just crazy how fast they grow up.
Yeah.
Like, she's 11, but I just had to get the heating pad for the cramps. But I got the pads already ready to go right away. But like Caitlin's like, you better get ready because it could happen.
Yep.
Get it there already just to have it. Well, I had to get it anyway because her kid, just in case something, you know.
Yeah.
Because they're always at the house anyway.
Yep. On
the weekends. And I'm always prepared with anything.
Sure.
I got like fire extinguisher and first aid kits all over the place. Ice packs ready to go.
Yep.
You know, just like no matter what. They're like, you have that? Like, yeah. I have it. I gotta find it. And it was even worse when I was at the log cabin because I had rooms upon rooms. I could do whatever. Yeah. Now I'm in a tight spot, you know? Right. Like I tell you, I have a 5-bedroom log cabin, full basement, 3 bathrooms to a 30-foot camper. I'm like, that's wild, you know? That was like the fastest thing because I was trying to figure out my life at the time. Yep. My buddy Mike, he figured it. I'm like, hey, I ain't got no money to buy a house right now. I would just put all this money in here and I'm still in just a mess.
Yep.
And then he was like, there's a camper. I want you to get a camper. And then he found the perfect camper for me, you know, at the campground, 15 minutes away from Olivia. I'm like, this is great, you know. This sucks being in it. It's a battle sometimes.
Oh, no doubt, man. I can
but
imagine.
I'm like my buddy Mike said, your old life or this life? I'm
Right.
like, it's true. You know?
I'll take yes. We're good. Park that fucking camper, set it up, let's go.
Yeah, because, I mean, because when your parents aren't happy, you can't make the kids
There
happy.
ain't no way, dude. Yeah.
You know, Olivia is happy majority of the times.
Yep.
Because, I mean, the other times it's because she's a girl.
Yeah.
And a kid growing up. It's tough. You could have paid me to be a kid nowadays.
Yeah, I know, man.
Like now you fart and somebody catches it on film. Yeah, like, oh man, I didn't mean to do that.
Yep.
And everybody call you fart kid or something, you know? Just makes fun of you, you know? It's like, I wouldn't want to do that.
Yep. And that's like a totally different, you know, thing that we're like seeing now with having, you know, Lucy as being, you know, a medical kid and stuff. Like, I wish, like, I would have known more about that stuff growing up. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I would have known more of, like, you think just, like, something happened or something's wrong with the parents that caused the kid to have something wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not the case. I mean, you know, like, well, you know, you're working up in the moors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Doing work up there all the time. And we see you up there when we go up, you know, a pretty good bit. And, you know, it's crazy to see all this stuff.
Yeah,
there,
like,
you know.
that was my thing. I'm like, I don't want to see anybody, like, sick kids at all. It's just like, and then you realize they're there to get help, you know?
Yeah.
And like at time, I didn't even know my next door neighbor, her granddaughter was sick, like getting a dialysis, got kidney failure. Like she could die, she doesn't get fixed. You know?
Yeah.
And that's the only life she has. Like the one day we're going to break, and there's this kid driving her wheelchair. She had no arms, no left leg, just one right leg with a few toes, just driving a thing. Like it was great. Like she's like, this thing is cool. And it's just like, man. And I'm like, and I'm grateful to have a healthy daughter.
Yeah.
Like never had an issue, you know?
Yep.
Like I spent a lot of time in hospital with my ears all the time, you know? I just went and got my ears checked out. They're like, you got a collapsed eardrum. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Okay.
You know, they hurt all the time.
Yeah.
They're like, well, we could do surgery or whatever. I said, I'm cool. I'll just continue saying, can't hear you. You know, just ignore it. Like, speaking to my right side, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like, man, it's like seeing the stuff. And I'm slowly, you don't always get used to it.
Nah.
You're slowly getting, you know, like seeing stuff. Like one day we're coming back from lunch and a helicopter comes in there, brings in this little stretcher, you know, brings them in there. We got to get out of the way. And like, this kid, I don't know how old it was, no more than 3 foot long.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell what it was. It was just bundled up being in the helicopter.
Yep.
I'm like, man, we got a helicopter lifted, you know? Like, man, like, this is just crazy.
It's rough, man. I mean, you know, I know, like, I'm thankful that we have something so close that's just so big. You know what I mean? Like, the more people don't realize, you know, what it is and what they can do. And, like, I've done a bunch of different, you know, podcasts with guys that travel all over the United States just to come there for specialists and stuff like that. I remember there was one time we were in the NICU with Lucy there. And we came downstairs and we were walking, and I think we were going to get something to eat at the cafeteria or whatever. And there was this like little boy with dwarfism and everything running through. He had the sheriff badge on, dude, glasses, everything. You know, the kid was probably like 2 foot tall, and he's just like, you know, slapping hands, hanging out, you know, like talking to everybody that worked there, like, hi, my name's so-and-so, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like they're loving life.
They are, man. They have, you know, no clue other than where they're at right there, and they are just loving it.
Yeah, like I said, that next door neighbor granddaughter, like, she's been there her whole life. She doesn't know anything different.
Yeah.
And, like, I just thought she was just a homeschool kid.
Yep.
Didn't even have a clue. Like, she's working there at the campground this summer. I'm like, that's just awesome, you know? And, like, she's always walking the dogs. She got little dogs like you got, and it's just like, just always waving happy.
Yeah.
It's like, when she see me and they're saying, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm working above you right now. Where you walking at?
Yep.
Working on that little bit. She's like, work here? I said, yeah, they sent me here. I didn't want to come here. You know, but now I'm stuck here and I like it.
Yeah. That's funny, man.
You know, I mean, we got a lot of work there. So I'm like, you know, I'll have to stay. Even though I'm anti-government, anti-compliant.
Yeah.
I'll get that little flu shot.
Yeah.
That's all I'm doing.
You're doing a good thing, man. You know what I mean?
I
Just working there. Like, it doesn't seem like that, but when you think about it, in the big scheme of things, like keeping that place running and working and operating, you know, that's our lives.
We got a lot of our guys will volunteer to do like that bingo. Yeah. They do like little things, like it was for Christmas, a couple of them dressed up as elves.
Nice, man. That's
they
awesome.
got like a little thing you sign up for, and I'm like, that's cool, you know?
Yeah.
But this winter, man, being there, like, it got me sick. I missed so much time.
I bet.
I mean, I'm like, man, my immune system was weak. The next winter, I ain't nothing gonna get me sick.
Right, exactly. You know? You're gonna be bulletproof next winter.
Yeah, I was like, yep, calling off again, still sick. You know, I even had the flu shot. I got the flu with the flu shot. Like, all right, whatever.
Right.
You know, who cares?
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm just weak, so I let myself go, you know?
Right.
I'm like, And then plus it's just so dusty above them floor. Them people even knew.
No, we had a little bit of talk about that. I don't know talking about it.
Yeah. We had a retiree working with us, and we found out he's scared of cockroaches. There was just one little cockroach. You don't see, because they're demoing all the old cast iron, so you're going to see them.
Yeah.
And no matter how clean a place is, you're going to see in that stuff.
For sure.
Because in wet areas, he jumped up on this little housekeeping pad. He did everything but say, eat. Like that. I was like, really, guy? You're a tough guy, and you got scared of a little cockroach? How would that thing take me home? I'm like, man, it's just funny. You know?
Oh, shit.
But it's a good. I mean, I'm glad I'm there now, because when everybody says you don't want to go to that job, because it's like back-breaking work. Like,
I bet.
the duct work's this big. You gotta walk like you're like a little kid, like that, like a little zombie. But then you get up wrong, your back goes into a rod.
Yeah.
It's like But like I said, everybody says it's for the kids, you know.
Yeah. That place is huge, man.
It is.
It is freaking huge.
And like they're doing a new spot in that new area. Like it's a brand new hospital, and they're redoing this one second floor. We got to demo it. I think that job starts in May or June. So that's when I'll get those high-vis shirts.
Yeah.
But now it's just crazy. That place, like today I had to go to the gift shop and get that balloon to redo a picture. Yeah. And that was the first time being that far in. And I stick to what I know. And our apprentice Zane, he was just like, "You're unlocking a whole new area." I said, "I know." And if I had to do it myself, I would have turned right back around. This is too much for me.
Dude, I tell you, man, like trying to go in there. So like we're all over that hospital with therapies and, you know, neurology and this and that and nutrition and all. We're all over the place. And it's like, you know, we finally, I would say, you know, now she's 9 months. So we've been out of the hospital like 7-8 months. Like, we're finally like starting to learn like our normal until they like fuck us up and like take us, like we did the eyes, you know, ophthalmology. We did that the other week, and we're like, we have no clue where we're going. Totally fucked us up. Yeah. Like we walk in the hospital and we're like, go to the front desk. We're just like, have no clue where we're going. We've been coming here we've been here for 8 months. Yeah. Like, have no clue where we're going, and it's just like up, down, fucking come up here, go to this elevator.
I'm still learning too. Like it's just like when you told me where you were, I'm like, oh, I know that spot. In the beginning, you're like, I'm here. I'm like, I asked Alex, I'm like, where's this at? He said, I don't even know. And he's been in that job site for 9 years. Yeah. That's all he knows. And he's having a kid in June. Okay. I said, when you have that kid, then you're going to realize what we see. Yeah. If you know you see it now, like he's seen the caskets and all that, you know, it never really hit him until once he has a kid, you know? Yep. It's just like, it's crazy. I'm like, at the being there, you know, just being a dad, never thought I was gonna be a dad either. You know?
Same here, man.
Never was supposed to be.
Yep, same here. And
I'm one and done. That's it. Well,
yeah.
Got a step kid now, which is cool.
Yeah.
So that's even better. A
Exactly.
bonus kid.
Yep.
You know, I got fixed twice. That was that was cool there. You know, I'm one of them freaks, 1 in 10,000 that grow everything back that they cut out.
No fucking shit.
Yeah.
No way. God damn.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I seen it cut out and everything.
Yeah.
And then I was taking care of business multiple times, like I said.
Uh-huh.
They're like, the second sample, like, you got to keep going. And I'm like, that was when I was like 350 pounds. I'm like, lady, I'm not 16 anymore. It's a lot of work to get this thing going.
Yeah, right.
You know, and then samples in. They're like, you got to see a specialist. I'm like, what happened? It's like, you grew everything back. It reconnected. I'm like, how's it reconnect?
Take more out.
Yeah, yeah.
Why
And
would
then they
you
were like,
leave like
yeah.
enough for it to come back?
Yeah, then they were just like, all right, well, you got to get it done again. I'm like, all right, if it's free, right?
Yeah. You got warranty on this thing?
Yeah, the ex had good insurance, same insurance I got now. So I go in there twice. And I was like, what happens if it doesn't take this time? He's like, well, we'll put you under and obliterate the whole area.
Just fucking
I'm
chop
like,
them off.
what? I'm like, you better take. And then when he's in there, he's like, man, you got a lot of scar tissue in there. I'm like, yeah, you were just in there.
Yeah, samurai sword or what?
Yeah. Yeah, so I had it done twice within 6 months. And
No shit.
And now I'm good. I'm like,
Oh my God.
and somebody's like, what would you do if you're meeting a lady that wants to have a kid again? I said,
Oh, fucking hell.
no, we'll adopt one because I'm not having a doctor go back in there connecting things. It's not happening.
Nah, me and Sam were talking about. I mean, that's on my definitely to-do list is to get that done. And
It's
all that
easy.
Stuff. Yeah.
Don't do anything for 3 days.
Yeah.
Just ice for 20 all day long. Who cares?
Yeah.
Put that jock strap in it, ice it, leave it, and take those stupid, whatever, the anti-inflammatory stuff or the infection
Dude,
thing.
all I can see in my mind, so like, I had my chocolate lab, and then I got a silver lab. I was working a lot when I first started the business full time and all that stuff, and I was with my ex. And, she was home a lot, whatever. I'm like, we were talking about another dog. I'm like, if you want another dog, keep you company, whatever, while I'm starting the shop, getting everything full run and all that shit. I'm like, whatever, fuck it, I'll do it. And I ended up getting a silver lab. And we had it for a while, and then, me and her split, and, it turned into a shit show with fucking the chocolate lab, the silver lab, and then Sam had, Bella, her Congressman
that thing.
And Annabelle, and I'm like, we got to get him fucking fixed, just because he is way too wired, he's way too much. So we get him fixed, dude. Sam takes him up there to get him fixed, and his fucking nutsack looked like a fucking cantaloupe. Dude,
that's
no
awesome.
lie. Just because this dude could not sit still for 5 fucking minutes, let alone just to let this thing heal. This thing swelled up. We're taking fucking bag of peas, slapping on that thing.
Man.
Fucking just trying to do whatever we can. I'm like, something's got to give. Either the fucking thing's going to pop or it's going to fucking just, go down, whatever. And, that's all I can fucking think about is goddamn nutsack. Size of fucking cantaloupe.
They gave us, when I got my Jenny fixed, they gave us, or gave me, gabapentin or something. One of those one of those things just to relax her.
Yep.
And she was a wild beast for the longest time. Once I moved in on my own, I wasn't stressed anymore.
Yeah.
She calmed down.
No shit.
And it was awesome. It was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Maybe you're designed to be crazy.
Yeah.
You knew I needed you. It's just man. But it's nice though. Now her and I are getting ready to get back hiking again,
Yeah.
She put on some weight. She's a little chunky now.
Yeah.
I said, balking season's over, Jenny.
That's right.
She would do 75 hard with me all the time. We'd be in the woods.
Yeah.
No matter what temperature, weather, it didn't matter. We're out there.
Yeah.
And she loved it. And
Really?
She's part mountain cur, which is a small game hunter. Mm-hmm. So she sees that little prey, and she's like,
Yeah.
goes after it.
How old is she?
She'll be, well, she just turned 2.
Yeah.
2 on Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, spring chicken.
Yeah. Yeah,
she's ready to go.
Yeah, so she's awesome. Her and little Pete, you know.
Yeah.
They're great, you know. I always have dogs no matter what, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus they're good for the kids, you know.
They are. Yeah.
The little job, like their first job.
Yeah.
Like Olivia's first job, she was like, we used to pay her in M&Ms. We'd clean up dog toys or whatever. She like, M&M. I'm like, what'd you do? She said, I clean up dogs. I'm like, all right. I'm like, here's some M&Ms. I'm like, what did you clean up? So I clean up dog. I don't think she did anything, but I gave her M&Ms because it was hilarious.
Right.
But I mean, we always had toys, you know. For the longest time, I got Jenny a bark box every month, and she doesn't tear up toys.
Yeah.
She just squeaks and squeaks and doesn't tear up the squeaker either.
They should.
So I was like, finally, I had to stop the bark box because she had like 38 toys.
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, Jenny, you got way too many toys.
Yeah.
Twist an ankle and everything, you know.
Oh, shit, that's funny. I know the girls are really starting to recognize, like with Annabelle and all that stuff, and trying to, you know, play with her and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yep.
But the only thing is when you travel.
Yeah.
Like, luckily, I got I had a lady that would watch my dogs, and Peter would just go to my dad's house, but Jenny would go to the lady.
Yeah.
Found on that whatever rover or whatever. But now Jenny's calmed down. Like if I go away, she can just go to Dad's house.
Yeah.
And then pretty soon, once he hits 70, he'll be pretty much officially retired and working here and there.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's like that was like Olivia. She would clean up, or she would always feed the dogs for me. Still does, you know. Yeah. And like she'll help me feed the dogs. Like I'll get wet food on special occasions.
Yeah.
Whatever, and then she always come with the idea. She grabs like 3 different cans and lets the dog pick. Yeah. And they'll touch it and they'll do like an elimination thing.
That's
I'm
cool.
like, that's funny, you know?
Yeah. Yo.
But it would be cool if she gets like even a job at a doggy daycare or something like that. You know?
Yeah.
She loves animals.
Hey man, dog sitting's a big thing. You know, like we go camping and stuff like that. I used to take the dogs when we go camping. Now it's like that's our time now with the kids and all that stuff. Like that's our time to kind of like be with them and kind of relax and do stuff and like give them that experience. It's a pain in the ass trying to bring the dogs.
It really is, because being in the campground, them dogs have no clue how to act.
Nah. Not at
and
all.
of course, Jenny don't help either. She sees a dog. I mean, you don't sound friendly, Jenny. Stop being so mean.
Yeah.
And like
they don't listen. They don't listen for shit.
And then they get a lot of them got them yappy dogs. They put that little gate and it just barks and barks and barks.
Yeah.
Can't wait to the winter. They close
that's
down.
What I always worried about was like, because when you go camping, when you're camping somewhere, it's like that's our time to kind of go venture, fun, hang out, do stuff. And like, I don't want that dog in there in the camper just freaking yapping away and all that stuff, bothering everybody. Like that's something.
That's what I never liked. I never liked the barking dog. Yeah, it just always annoyed me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's like dogs should be seen and not heard.
Exactly.
Like the parents say back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like when Jenny's outside, she's got a little collar, I'll like vibrate or beeper.
Yeah.
To calm her down. I'm like, dude, relax, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
But she's cool. That's probably one of my favorite ones.
Good, man.
Yeah.
Good. It's like, nice just to like shoot the shit.
Yeah, if I went on my friend Lori, she lives in Michigan, and like person to person, that would have been so much better.
Yeah.
But it's so hard, but she lives far away, you know?
Yep.
I mean, this is the way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. I like just kind of shooting the shit, fucking back and forth, and it's just everything and anything,
Yeah, conversation go anywhere.
Yeah.
You usually don't talk about the vasectomy that much.
Yeah, like.
And that's always a good story, though.
Yeah.
You always hear horror stories about that, because one guy got it done. He was like, dude, he's like, oh, my buddy Bobby, I go race the slot car race with. He was like, I was a crew chief the next day. What? You can't do that. He was like, those things were swelled up, man. I was just like, yeah. I literally went everywhere with ice. I was walking like, what's my cold compress thing? The Instapack got warm. Yeah. Throw it in the trash and put up a new one. I'm like, I took that thing serious because I don't want anybody else in there. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. And then there you go, right back in the fucking.
Yeah, I know. And you hear like everybody's like, I'm not doing that. And then I tell them my horror story about two. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't do that. I'm like, it's 1 in 10,000. You'll be all right.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, just take those pills.
I'm the one. So fuck it.
Dude, the doctor gave me each time I did it 75 Percocets, I think, or whatever.
No
what do
shit.
I need these
Yeah,
for?
right.
You're the reason why people are addicted.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got to stay ahead of the pain. What pain?
Yeah. Just fucking.
It's
dump the
ice.
fucking
I'm
bottle.
sitting
Right.
down. I'll play video games, play on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything.
Oh, I can fucking picture us being at like the drag strip and be like, let me get your fucking water cooler here and your
Yeah,
cooler.
you got
and
ice
grab your
here.
fucking ice.
You just dump right. I got a bag already. You know?
Yeah. Fuck your car on how you
Yeah.
run next time. Let me just get my
Yeah,
fucking
I need
sack
ice.
fucking iced up.
Yeah, I'm just like, wow. And my one guy I used to work with, the numbing agent, the needle went into one of his arteries or something.
What?
It like made him die for a minute or two or something. It's like everything flashed. It was like life was like a jeopardy. He lives in Rising Sun. He's got a couple rat rod trucks.
Yeah.
Right by Brad Guilford's Produce or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right
Giffords.
across the street
Mm-hmm.
from that.
Yep.
And he was like, that thing put me out. He's like, I woke up, people were like, oh, he's alive. You know?
Nice.
And he was like, they're explaining to him, he's like, am I done? He's like, no.
Or just getting
You gotta come
started.
back. We just killed you. And I'm like, man. And then my brother got it done. He was a baby with pain. He was
Yeah.
like, it hurt so bad. And I'm like, whatever. It's just like two horrible nut shots. That's all it feels like.
Exactly.
You get
Yep.
over it. That's just great, you know?
Yeah, I'm definitely, you know, once we kind of, I've been wanting to do it here lately, and I'm like, you know, like I don't care, like I'm down for it whenever, just fucking do it, get it over with, and it just hadn't been the right time. I'm definitely not against it. Like I kind of wanted to after we did the IVF and we had our two, and I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
that's like all we're gonna do because
Don't
like
wanna risk
we,
it again,
we
just in
can't
case
we
something
can't get
happens.
pregnant anyway, so like might as well just get it out of the way and be done. Well, then we go back to normal deed and all that stuff, and it's just like, hey, look, here's Lucy.
Yeah,
You
I know, that's
like,
so cool.
what
And
the
like I was
fuck?
telling
Here we
everybody about
go.
it, and they're like, yeah, that's usually how it happens. You trick the system, and then it happens
Well,
naturally.
It's so fucked up because like Sam, you know, she does pictures, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? That's how we know each other. And she's like, yeah, you know, it's always like do IVF and then things just happen and like happen naturally. She's like, but it can't happen with me that way.
Yeah.
Like there's no way. It just doesn't, the shit's not plumbed right, you know, this and that.
I
And
got
I'm
no
like,
good. My
I'm
plumbing's
like,
messed up.
okay, that's cool. You know, I trust you. It's all good. You know, we'll just kind of do what we do, whatever. And then bam, and I'm like, I don't fucking trust you.
Yeah.
I don't fucking trust you one bit.
Sicker.
You're back on my shit list.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when she first started. She started with the iPhone, you know?
Yeah, man.
I'm
Yep.
like, man, she's edited it with the iPhone pictures. I'm like, that's how long we go back.
Yeah, man. She's definitely came a long way.
Hey,
She
think
fucking
about it.
loves
I guess it would be like, 18 years because we got our dogs at the same time,
Yeah.
you know? They're puppies, and my dog lived 13 years, 9 months. I'm good. Always good with
Yeah, man.
dates.
Hey.
I don't forget dates ever, you
Yep.
know? I've always, like, somebody tells their birthday, I remember, but I don't remember your name.
Right.
It's like, what? Well, I can't remember your name, but I remember your birthday.
I know. When she was telling me about you, she was like, this motherfucker had a fucking alligator,
That was
fucking
cool.
snakes,
I had
all kinds
everything.
of shit.
When I lived in the town of Elkton, that's when it was wild.
Yeah.
I had 75 snakes in this little red house down the ranger station. I had probably about 25 bearded dragons, like leopard geckos. I had so many. And I was on a good paying job.
Yeah.
I would buy, I'd spend $1,800 on a snake.
Yeah, no shit.
You know, I didn't even care.
Yeah.
I had this one albino berm. I'd feed outside in a packing play with like 8-pound rabbit. You know?
Holy shit.
And I couldn't do it now. I'd feel so bad.
Yeah.
I heard an animal. I'm like, man, I'm such a softie. You know? But man, that thing would hit that rabbit and it would scream. People would be walking by. There wasn't much homeless people there.
Yeah.
And they're like, what was that? I'm like, I don't know. And then you see a snake with the big giant tail. Is that a snake? Let's come on. And they come over like, You got that in the house? I said, yeah, there's about 75 other in there. You know, I kept my big giant tortoise outside, Thomas.
Yeah.
He stayed outside. So like, you got a tortoise too? I said, yeah, there's a little farmer's market. You can get him some lettuce if you want.
Yeah.
Get him some romaine. He likes that. Feed it. I don't care. Ain't nobody gonna take him, you know. Somebody does, that'd be messed up.
Yeah.
But luckily, nothing ever did.
That's nice.
That was I drank all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I drank and ate Brothers Pizza and fed snakes and played video games. That's what I did.
That sounds
and
like
I
a pretty
don't
good
know
life.
how. I still can't remember how long I lived there. Either.
Yeah.
A year or two. I don't know.
Right.
It was like this is blacked out time in my life.
Yep. Yep. Hey man, fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, whatever. You know.
Oh, shit. That's funny.
Yeah, and then I moved. That's when I moved to my buddy's house, and then that's when I got that Plenty of Fish profile.
Yeah. Hey, here you are.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. And then here I am now. I haven't told my story in a while either. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad you're here to do it.
I still celebrate Fridays.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know how many Fridays it is now, but it's like oh, like I do my gratitude list in the morning. I'm like, I made it on a Friday. I made another Friday.
That's right, man.
You know?
Fucking A.
It's still that day, that was rough, and I didn't even say a word. I still went to work that day.
Yeah, man.
Like, what was I gonna do? Was I gonna call out of work and then blast my brain out?
Right.
Or was I gonna be a no call, no show?
Yeah.
And my boss was just a hardened biker.
Yep.
Cussed me out on my phone. Where you at, guy? You ain't gonna make it. Here I'm just laying there with no head.
Yup. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I didn't go that far with a note or calling out.
Right.
I was just like, screw it. Everybody be fine
Yup.
without
Fuck
me.
it. Yeah. No, I feel you, man.
Yeah.
I know there's a
We
lot
all
of...
been there. If you say,
Yeah.
like when I went to a nuke plant one year, we had to get a psych test just to work at a nuke plant. Because I guess they thought we were going to blow the place up.
Yeah.
The guy was like, you ever been suicidal? I said, we're talking to a psychiatrist. You got to everything. It's wow. I'm like, if you say you've never been, you're a liar.
Yeah.
Because everybody's been dark.
Yeah.
We're still here to talk about it, ain't we?
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, it's just crazy.
Still got that job, though.
I know, yeah. That's a good paying job. We got them Sunday triple time, man, 2 of them. I was like, yeah. Working at Peach Bottom, and then it was just like, we did absolutely nothing there.
Yeah.
I'm like, no wonder the government stinks. I'm like, worked there 3 weeks. I was there on the job, 4 weeks. I sat around for 2 and did like 1 or 2 weeks worth of work. And it should have been all done in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, man, this is crazy.
Right. Cool, guys. Well, I appreciate you tuning in. Dad's Little Warriors Dad Talk. It was an honor to have Dave in here with us, man. A lot of good stuff, and definitely came a long way. And it's good to have you here today, man.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you coming in, and stay tuned in.
That's right.